Good evening, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be back to my high school, not as a student, but as a speaker and sort of a teacher in this case. Today, I will be giving you a speech titled Nevermind 101, the theory of neverminding. So when the theme was given to me that we are going to be talking about nevermind, I was not sure what to talk about. So I started thinking about what it really is, and I ended up with analyzing it so further that I tried to come up with some sort of theory of it. But before I proceed into my speech, I have a very small icebreaker and energizer for you guys. And I need your assistance by getting up from your seats. Please get up from your seats. Okay, so your task is very simple. You will be looking around yourselves, your back, your left, to your right, and try to make as many eye contacts as possible. Try to have as many eye contacts as possible. And we have a very limited time for this, so can we start the timer? 15 seconds, please start. Three, two, one. Thank you very much for your time. Please have your seats back. All right. Basically, I would like to tell you something about this event that you just did. You have made eye contact with many people, and I would like to assure you that most of those pairs of eyes, actually all of those pairs of eyes, have actually made one very good mistake in their lives. And now, we are going to be discussing upon this. Sometimes we make some decisions, sometimes we take some actions. In the beginning we have some expectations as outcomes, but they end up as the outcomes that we do not want and that we did not expect to happen. Sometimes some things happen outside of our own decisions and we end up sad about those. And at those times, what we do is we either say never mind or get stuck with them. We can run away from the places that we are in. We can run away from our city, we can run away from our house, the country. We can try to run away from a war, a drought, a famine. And also there will be commentators on the mistakes that we have made. So we can ignore them as well. We can ignore our friends, our families, our beloved ones even. But there is only one place that we cannot ever leave, and one person, one commentator we cannot ever ignore, which is our very selves, as known as the ego. So now, since I'm on the stage, I will be talking about Nevermind, and that's why I can put myself in the position of being a victim and the jester at the same time, thanks to being on stage. And I think you know this program, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? In Turkish Millionaire. This is a very nice program where you are supposed to be on the stage and tell about show your skills and knowledge. And at some point you make a mistake and they give you some amount of money and then you say, I have made a good show and I have got whatever it is given. So I was there. It is me. Here you can see me with less beard and also nice clothes. What happened in this program is that I was on the stage, I was having the questions and I was answering and answering. It went on well for some time, but seemingly it was not a very long time. So I ended up having an amount of money that was as a reward, which is this much. 1,000 Turkish liras, approximately $300. So it's basically a very low level output. And now you are here, like I'm 20 years old here. You have been into an environment that you have been protected all the time. You are trying to develop your identity. You go on the stage and you have this public shame, public embarrassment because you have made something that had made a very bad outcome of it. So what do? What to do is never mind. Here I will talk about my theoretical framework that supposedly I created in this sense. And by starting it, I will talk about individual neverminding in the beginning. So we can periodize this into two periods, before action and after action. By saying before action, I mean decision making actually. So sometimes we come across an opportunity, a case that we have to be making a decision. And in these decision making periods, we have basically two main options to begin with. One, let the others decide for you. Two, do the nevermind act. If you let the others decide for you, you will remain passive and you will let the bigger environment and the other people make the decision for you. And otherwise, if you say never mind, that means you decide on deciding. And there are structures according to this. So since this is a decision-making mechanism, I'm using econometrics basis, risk-averse people, risk-loving people, and risk-neutral people. Which means when you see an issue, you either take risk, or you try to run away, or you'll be okay with that. So here, this scale is our nevermind scale. And I will tell you about the decisions made by these two characters. The risk-loving people, when they come across the decision, they will be saying, never mind, I will do it. They say never mind to the possible bad outcomes. And the people who are risk-averse, they say never mind, I will pass. They say never mind to the possible positive outcomes. And then there are extreme ends to the both sides. And extreme ends are these. On the risk-averse end, you have lack of confidence that you run away from all the possible opportunities, which is making you very much limited and passive in your life. And on the other hand, you have the fool's courage, which is as known as YOLO. By this I mean you take lots of initiatives, but it's a very risky behavior as well. And in between, what I call is nevermind rational. And here you are making rational choices mostly, which is fitting into framework of rational decisions. If you are risk averse, you take this path and you say these cases are sort of out of my reach, and you find your solution as not doing it. And here you say never mind, and you say this is in my reach, there are some risks, but I will take it. So you end up as an entrepreneur, and the other side, you will become much of a thinker person, comparatively. And then, my case, I was on TV program, so I failed, I went back home. So this is after the action, never minding. And here you have two options as well. One, to get stuck in the past. Every day you think about that case and you say, I should have done it like this or like that. And you feel the sadness of it. Or you say, never mind. By so, I will make two categorizations of the characteristics, personalities, by making it introvert and extroverted. And I will say what they say. An introverted person, in this case, of making a mistake, might end up by saying, never mind, I make the decision of not caring about this, by being careful about such cases in future, so I will not do something similar again. It's a safe standing mechanism. And here on the extroverted side, we have, I will be prepared for the next time I do it. So you try to learn the skills and face it again. Both of the cases, you accept the previous case. Instead of being stuck at that moment, you find a solution. So you say, never mind. Basically, I should mention as well, saying never mind is a solution-oriented thinking method. So at the extremes, what we have, introvert maxima, is the sweeping under the rug, which means this did not happen, there is no such thing, so it stays there and you say like, it's not there. But it does not really work because it doesn't give you any solution in the end. And also on the other side, you are on the careless side, which means, as you say, never mind, you totally ignore anything that can be learned from the case, and then you end up with no progress from the mistake that you have made. And again, never mind rational. What we have here is, on the introverted side, we get self-exploration. So the one goes back into hers or his self and tries to understand what kind of qualities and things that the person has. On the other hand, you have the skill development, that you see what has been wrong and you try to develop upon those cases. So these have been the individual. By the way, you must be asking me, what did I do? In the beginning, I unfortunately started to get stuck in the past. So I was sort of like feeling unhappy about it. And then I moved into self-exploration. I started thinking, of course it's also 20 years age and adolescence is nearly ending, so you have this identity development. Meanwhile, I was trying to do self-exploration to understand who I really am and what are my skill sets, and then to develop them even further. So I moved on this side later on. And now I will also go a little bit more boring, more social science-y part, which is the communal neverminding idea that I have created here. So you have a group of people, a community. Communities are acting different from the individuals, but also similar in some ways, since the individuals are composing the community as well. So you have two options before an action is happening. You can either be proactive or passive. And this is let the leaders and the others decide for you what will happen in the future, or you do the Nevermind Act and try to take initiatives. On this case, I make two groups as well. So you have progressive people and stabilizer people, by which I mean conserving the current system. And on the argument side, the stabilizer people will be saying, never mind the possible future opportunities that we might have. We would like to protect the current system and have the current opportunities. And on the progressive side, you say, we would like to have some new opportunities for us, so you take the risk and make steps forward. And what are the extremes? Maximas, progressive can lead into revolutionary groups, which is taking risks to the extreme that the possibility of continuum of opportunities will be ruined. Or you go with extreme conservatism, or you can say maybe more oppressive structure where you disable any possible change. And in between, you have conservative characters and reformist characters. And in both these cases, you are saying never mind making somebody else making decision for me, and you are making your own decision. After a case happens, let's say some very bad thing happened. For example, in Turkey we had this 15th of July coup attempt. And what do we do for the solution part? You either wait for a hero or a heroine to solve everything for you, or you say, never mind, I will take an action, I will make some motion with regards to the problem. So you have two characters. One is adapter, the person who adapts into the problem, the new relations. So after something has changed, the people who are on the adapter side, they accept the case and they live with it. And reactionaries try to find solutions, try to revert or change it towards another direction. And their arguments, never mind, we will adapt to the current situation, we will not take risk for going back. And the other reactionaries will say, never mind, we will revert the problem and find a new solution. The extremes, you might be asking, extreme adapters will be conformist, by which I mean that the people will try to adapt into any condition. In Turkish we say, her devrin adamı, approximately, something like this. So the people who are here are fitting into every situation, not having any reactions to anything. And on this side, you will have more rebellious standing, more high reactionary standing. So it can also be risky in the sense of levels of opportunities being disappearing. Between, you have survivalist, which is like trying to make some certain level of adaptation, but also trying to keep the past. Or you have the protester group, which is trying to change the new situation. So I have been talking for quite long, and you might be asking, so you have been talking for very long, Buğrahan, so what is the definition that you might give us about the term that you have been using, Nevermind, you know? An alternative definition that I have created here is what I have been trying to tell in different parts. It is actually the engine of making a decision. This is a mental action that is in the very embodiment of the conscious will. So it's a form of answer to situations that we are meeting. And also, it is the act that makes us decide on deciding. And also it is very much the presence and show of the existence of free will of one's own. This has been the end of my speech, and next time you will be facing some issues or some problems. I hope that you will be optimizing your Nevermind decision and try to move on with your Nevermind mindset. Thank you.